It's time for my relic rant. As you know, I make relic based guitars, except mine are really extreme relic. Although I do also offer a relic service, so I can take a guitar of yours and give it that relic feel. It evokes so many comments in the clips that I put on YouTube, on the things I share on my Instagram and Facebook. And you just see it in general. It's one of the ongoing forum complaints. Is relicing worth it? Should it be allowed? And why do we do it? Now, I'm going to give a quick overview of where relicing came from, or where I think it came from based on the research I've done. And then I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And then I want you to tell me in the comments below what you think about it. And then I want you all to argue in the comments below about it, because it does get people wound up. Okay, before I start my rant about relics, let's quickly look at a brief history of relics. And while I'm saying this, I'm going to have some images in the background, both of guitars that I've relicked and my end of the road guitars, the ones that are relicing really taken to their extreme. So relic guitars is the term we use to describe a guitar that looks like an old used guitar, but actually isn't. It's a new guitar that's made to look like that. There's a rumour that's gone round the internet, which is that Keith Richards in the early 90s went into the Fender custom shop and was offered some of their new guitars, which he liked, but he refused to play them on stage unless they looked more damaged because it would ruin his street cred. Well, that turns out not to be true. Jay Black, the then master luthier and head of the Fender custom shop, is the one that can clarify this story, because he's the one that made these first relic guitars and he's the one that's been put together with Keith Richards. So the actual first one that Fender made was for Don Was. He came into the custom shop and said that he needed a bass that was new and played great but looked old, because he was about to appear at the Grammys with Bonnie Raitt, who he produced the new album for. So the custom shop made one for him, and from that point onwards, relic was an option that you could have on any custom shop built guitar. So a bit later than this, Vince Canetto was hired by Fender. He was a guitar maker that worked out ways of making guitars look aged and old, looking at wood and metal. So they worked together, him and Jay Black, and in the 1995 NAMM show, they showed off two guitars that were relicked, went down a storm, and from that point onwards, Fender started their relic series. So strangely, the early guitars made by these two, which are now sort of 20, 25 years old, they are more expensive than they were when they came out. So they themselves have a vintage quality to them. So the vintage collectors were worried that these relic guitars would kind of ruin the vintage market, but it didn't really turn out to be the case. It is a case that they aren't vintage, but they are made to look vintage. So they are much cheaper, and people still want to collect the real thing. It's just for those that can't afford it. So the Fender Relic range includes a few different types of relics. They do new old stock, which are guitars that are meant to look like the vintage old guitars that have been used and worn. They do closet classics, which are ones that are meant to be like the old guitars, but with only a slight bit of wear. So like they were used at the time and then have just been left in the closet. They also make relic and heavy relic with various layers of that aged look put on it. But they don't make end of the road extremes like I do. Yeah, self-plug here. If you want to find out more about them, check out my website. I can make them to order and often have some available to sell, which is why I've got this rant. So I regularly put up images about these on my social media accounts and videos of them on YouTube. And to be honest, I don't really mind what other people think. I find it quite interesting to see the discussions that happen, but it is quite beyond me why people get so angry about things. The internet is a space to be angry. Please be angry in the comments below this, and please argue with other people in the comments below this. What is your opinion on relics? Look, essentially, people quite often describe a relic guitar like having a bit of vintage furniture or wearing ripped and worn jeans. You're buying something because of the look. And as a guitar maker that makes guitars that are as much to do, if not more to do with the appearance than how they sound. It's about what you look like on stage when you're playing them. It's about what they look like in the room when you're playing them. It's what they look like on the wall. It's how they inspire you to write and play music. The look is incredibly important as far as I'm concerned. So relic guitars are just a matter of taste. Why people get so angry about it, I don't know. I love seeing comment threads, someone saying, bad things about relicing, someone arguing against it, someone saying they don't like relicing but they can understand why other people do, someone saying they can't understand why anyone would ever like it. It just gets quite heated a lot of the time. Some of my funniest comments on YouTube have been about relicing. Someone saying that he's played his guitar for years in order to make it look old and worn, but the only thing he succeeded in making look like that was his body. And someone else saying that the only way to really relic a guitar is by sending it via FedEx. Other courier services are available. But whether you like it or not, relicing is here to stay because it is something that people like. People like that look, and not everyone has the ability to play a guitar so much that it will look like that. Some people have jobs, some people have families, some people have multiple jobs and families, some people just can't play the guitar and want one that looks cool. But does that matter? Of course it doesn't matter. Great, well thanks for watching. As I said before, do let me know below what you think about relicing and look at other people's comments and see what they think too. It'd be great to start a discussion on this. And while I'm here, I have to mention those end of the road videos that I make. Here's a couple of videos about them. I also sell them on my website and you can order them made to order. I can do it on Strats, Tellys, basses, guitars, or really anything you want can be modified to look old, damaged and used. Until next time, happy strumming.